Since November, I have added an additional 1.5 million in funded capital. I did up to 60k worth of payouts in all of November. I took all of December off because it was Christmas, to spend some time with my family, to spend some of that payouts back onto my family, and to recoup, catch up on businesses and other things like that. So now it's 2024. My goal is to get up to 5 million in funding and 500k plus in payouts. So currently I am funded with FTMO where I'm max allocated. I'm funded with Alpha Capital nearly at max allocated. True Forex Fund nearly max allocated, funded engineer 300k, the funded trader I've got 200k in phase 1, phase 2 and alive. I've got skill funded trader, I've got Fixify, I've got my funded FX. I've just got so many challenges and also so many lives that I don't even know where it's at the moment. So my next step is I'm going to put it onto a spreadsheet soon and then organize it so I know exactly when payouts are coming, how I'm allocated and how my challenges are going, how much money I spent into it and how much I'm getting out. That I'm very clear on because I spent around 15k to get 60k worth of payouts, had 5k refunded and another 5k due refunded as well. So overall I only spent 5k and then I got 60k, so net up 55k. And that is the power of prop firms. So speaking of the power of prop firms, today we're going to be giving away 5 50k accounts. That's right, 5 50k accounts. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching up to this bit. I will be sharing how you can win that at the end of this video, and that is sponsored by Alpha Capital, where you can get up to 10% off of your challenges in the link in the description below. Sometimes I do up to 40%, which is insane, but Alpha Capital is definitely by far my most profitable firm, but I'm going to break that down later in this video. So in today's video, what I'm going to be talking about is how I made 10k with Alpha Capital. I'm going to be talking about phase 1, phase 2, how I had a bit more of an aggressive approach. I'm also going to be talking about a funded template as well, which is a full breakdown. That's right, it's free. This funded template is in our mentorship program, which is currently closed. The waitlist is down below if you do want to come and learn and earn, but this is going to give you a snippet of the type of things and the type of webinars we are doing on a weekly basis to help you guys learn and earn. So we'll start off with the funding template. We'll go into phase 1, phase 2, the payout certificates as well, and then last but not least, just a little bit of an update. I've got a full funded guide coming through teaching you from A to Z, a full hour on how you can become a funded trader and get 7 figures funding and 6 figures in payout, where there is going to be 2 MacBook Air giveaways and 10 100k accounts and nearly 1 million of challenges. So let's start the video. Let's get to it. So currently here is the achievements page on the Alpha Capital website. So you can see I had 5.2k here and 1.6k. So this was like a 6.5k payout and this was like a 3k, just under 3k payout, which was just under 10k. So I made over 10k. I've got another payout hopefully coming soon where I'm currently on the account. So this was a phase 1. Now phase 1 you can see was a little bit of a mess. Now when I say a little bit of a mess is when I'm attacking these funded challenges. See, for me as an experienced trader, I've already got the proof of concept, meaning that I already know how to trade, I've been funded and I've got a payout. And when you're at this level, what I highly encourage is you got to look at your return of investment based on time when it comes to the funded programs. And the reason I say that is because if I was to approach this professionally, this could take me 2 months to pass a challenge. But in that time of the 2 months, it's not really worth my time in there as a return of investment compared to all the other things that I've got going on in life. And on top of that, I already have over 1 million in funded capital. So my main aim is if I buy 5 challenges and I can at least buy, have a 50% pass rate and get my refund, that in and in itself is going to pay for all the challenges plus more. Plus I've got the live capital to continually make profits with in the future. So having that concept in there, you can see why my risk is so much more, how the equity curve is not as linear and the equity curve is a lot sharper because the risk is so much higher. Now, as soon as we went into this trade, the main thing that I have in terms of mindset to help you guys think how I'm thinking is I see this account as a flip account. That's the best way to see it. When I'm live and funded, I need to treat that as a treasure and try and preserve it. So when it's phase 1 and phase 2, I aggressively bring that aggression down. On phase 1, very aggressive. On phase 2, semi-aggressive, and then funded are very, very passive. And when I say that, you can see on the 200k, I was currently down in drawdown. I had no waiver in my confidence. I actually brought it all the way back up to break even. You can see this very steep curve in terms of 2 massive losses in a row. And then guess what? This is why you believe in your edge. I had 3 major wins after that to follow through, which put me in profit, put me back down, and then the next trade sent me and passed phase 1 from there. And so the main lesson in phase 1, which you can see, is that I still, even even though I have a higher risk, I still followed my edge, and following my edge and believing in the system, that was the best way in order for me to pass these challenges for my return of investment over time. Then as soon as we go on to phase 2, we can see I actually risked a 2.5% on the first trade, and then it went and became a winner. Now, if I risk 2.5% and it's a 1 to 2R, then I pass on 5%. I was able to pass the challenge straight away in one go and have one winning trade and pass phase 2, which brought me onto my live capital. Long story short is our equity curve was in a bit of a drawdown when we started forward. So this is the live account that we have, and you can see that I ran up to 6.2k, I think it was roughly, there we go, 6.5k here, which was the profit split, and I also had that in the vlog. And then I left it for a few days until I hit the payout split there, and then it dropped all the way down to 200k, which is resetting the balance. I then ran this up to around 2k to there we go, 2095, and then that reset it all down to 2000. Then I had one winning trade when this week which was trading, which brought it up to 2374 profit, and then I had three losing trades to bring it all the way back down to 195, which is the current balance at the moment. So if we were to go on to the month and we go on to this journal that they have here, we can see all the profits that I've had on the trade. So we had 4k, 1k, minus 1k, 500. This is the full breakdown on my trade. Here we had terrible day here, which is minus 7k. I need to check oh, maybe that was the withdrawal. Well, I have to check into that, but either way, this is the calendar and the journal that I have at the moment for that live account. So just to summarize it, I'm going to give you a little bit of my experience of Alpha Capital. This definitely sits in the top 3 in terms of execution, because FTMO is definitely number 1 in my books and branding. I just feel like FTMO have been around long enough. They've got the quant lane now. I've traded with them. I've never really had major slippages. Even in news, I've always been executed very well. True Forex funds is actually really, really good. And guess what? They all have something similar, which I'm going to mention now, is Alpha Capital and True Forex funds have their own tech. Same with FTMO. All 3 of these have their own tech, which is why their execution is so flawless. And I am a massive fan of all 3 of these firms. So if I had to say, and definitely to say and summarize in this video, is to get max allocated with all 3 of these companies, because the execution is key. They're definitely going to help you with your trading conditions, and the slippage is not going to add up, and you're not going to lose that amount of money over time. And you may or may not have seen, I actually got slipped $1,000 by the funded trader. They have resolved the issue for me, but it is an incredible a lot of money to be slipped in one trade, and that can happen. Imagine across 10 accounts, that's $10,000 I have slipped because of the execution of the firm. Now, I'm not saying it's, you know, I can do anything about it, because we are the clients and we're the ones buying from them and trying to get funded and trying to get these payouts. But the point is, if I can get max allocated with the better firms, that's what I would potentially recommend you to do first before branching out and getting max allocated with the lower firms first. There are many more things that I want to say about Alpha Capital, but I will do a honest review, because I have an honest review series coming up where I've got my funded FX, True Forex funds, the top 5 firms, FTMO, funded engineer, the whole shebang, to kind of give you a raw experience and an honest review from a trader's perspective like myself, and other guests to talk about it and their experience as well. So let's go on to the 1 million funding template. I'm going to go through a very basic kind of run through on this video. I've done a more in-depth one, a free one in the vlog, and then if you want to see the full version, then you have to join our Winner Circle program, because that is where you're going to be seeing all of the 104 webinars in 2024, where I'm making 2 webinars a week live every single week for you guys. So the 1 million funding template here, which is in the Winner Circle program, it splits into beginner, intermediate and advanced. So in this video, I'm just going to briefly touch on the beginner stage, and this was just talking about the current challenges I had at that time and how much I had live in capital when I made this presentation. That's slightly changed now. I have more in capital and I have more in challenges, but I'll update that accordingly. The standard risk plan that I have across the board is, I call this the 20 trade risk, and how it means is, for the 20 trades is, if I risk a 1% per trade on my first trades and I lose 5 times in a row, that is 5%. That's 5 trades. Then I drop my risk down, so it's a dynamic risk portfolio, to 0.5%. If I lose another 5 trades, that is 2.5%. Then that's a total of 7.5% in drawdown at the moment. And then the remaining, I will drop my risk down to 0.25% per trade. And if I lose 10 times in a row, I will blow the account if it's on a 10% drawdown account. Now, using this rule and method basically gives me a 20 trade buffer. And the mentality I have for this is, if I lose 20 trades in a row, I'd rather reset. That's the luxury we have as traders and prop traders. I'd rather reset rather than trying to call it out with 0.001% drawdown or 0.001% risk to reward and just trying for a whole year to try and pass this challenge. So that is the kind of standard risk plan that I always recommend to upcoming traders, everyone in my winner circle program, and potentially to you guys watching as well, where this way you are able to pass the trade in 4 winning trades in a row if you have a 1 to 2 risk to reward. It just really depends on your strategy and really depends on your approach to the market. An aggressive risk plan would be 2% per trade, and then I would just keep it at 2% and do not alter. If I fail the challenge, I will fail after 5 losing trades. If I pass the challenge, I actually could pass the whole phase 1 and phase 2 in 3 winning trades. And how does that work? Well, that works technically by, if I win 1 to 2, so 2% for 4%. So if I win 1 trade, now I'm at 4% up. If I win another one, that's another 4%, meaning 8%. So that's phase 1 done. And then phase 2 is 5%. If I win 1 trade at 2.5% for 5%, then I pass phase 2. Therefore, in 3 winning trades in a row, I have now passed phase 1 and phase 2, and then I've got live funded capital. So the sole focus of this whole approach is to get funded and get the refund. It does not matter about the payout split, just get a refund. Visualize that refund. That refund is everything. Once you have the skill, money isn't the problem, because currently people always think money is the problem, but skill is the problem. So you really got to focus on getting that refund, getting that payout split, and really focusing on yourself to learn and earn. And then in the video here, I just kind of talk about messaging me and the coaches, because we have our journal, and then I go into the intermediate where we talk about the 1 step away of the concept, how you're bringing and compounding your money, and then how to kind of elevate and take your trading to the next level to secure your payouts. But if you want to watch the intermediate one, that is going to be on a vlog, so hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video where I talked about Alpha Capital, which I generally am a massive fan of them so far. Not only am I a fan of the execution and the way that they work, where the owners actually are licensed and certified, where even they understand all the regulations on the FCA up to level 6. So I'm a massive fan of that. I'm a fan of that because that is the world I used to live in. They speak my language, they move the way I do, and I love companies that just focus on what I always say is you versus you and me versus me. They don't think about comparing about this company, that company, whatever. It's just me versus me, you versus you. We have a product, we're trying to improve it and make sure that everyone can win. And I'm a fan of that. So up to the giveaway section. What I want you to do is now you have to make sure you like, subscribe, and comment what you learned in this video. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is to comment on the Instagram post that I've linked in the description below. Tag me in the story and tell Alpha Capital. And then number 3 is to follow me at Alpha Capital on Instagram. And then the winners will be picked on Instagram in 7 days. So you've got 7 days now to enter and win your 50k challenge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, guys. I hope you guys enjoying the videos, the vlogs, the talking heads, everything that we are bringing onto this channel for you guys to learn and earn and to help and you become a 7 or 6 figure funded trader in 2024. So thanks for watching. Champ out. Peace.